Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. We got a brand new, sub patch. Is that what I call it? Like content update, and it's 7.15. It unlocked the final quest in the Wachumeki deliveries. I've already recorded that, but we'll doing a much more like in-depth video with that on the role quests when they release. I think early January. Because on their own, the deliveries final quest is not really, let's just say, worth talking about. It's more or less what I expected. It's very good, but it's story heavy, not that much in terms of gameplay. I do expect the role quest will have a bit more involved actions. But there is one more thing that got released. And this beautiful lady here is a starting line, Nashu. So it means Hildibrand is back. So let's see what the inspector has in store for us. The case of the displaced inspector. Looking rather lost herself, Nashu Makaraka has come west in search of the missing inspector. Hi, hello, Macadrel. Core, how serendipitous that we should cross paths in this far-flung nation. Have you come all this way to lend me a hand? Because, let me tell you, I could use the help. Oh, yes, of course. I will always help Nashu. Nashu must be protected. Nashu must be safeguarded. You see, I've been doing my absolute darndest to track down the inspector of it since Mr. Boo Boo's starship whisked him off to God's only know where. My best lead turned out to be the Thavnarian truth. Eyewitness accounts in the latest issue described a shiny craft headed west across the ocean, so I packed a few things and headed as far west as I was able. This is where I ended up. I've made a few inquiries since my arrival, but I've mostly been acclimatizing myself to the native cuisine. Very important step, that. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, seeing as fate has sent you to assist me, I suppose it's time I continue questioning the locals on the matter of the unidentified flying gentleman. I love that. I love Nashu. I love Hildibrand. I live for these quest lines. Here, this should help aid in our investigation. There's gonna be some awful drawing of the inspector. Ah! Actually, that's pretty good. It's an illustration of the starship, clipped from Dorian's publication. Having this on hand should make it much easier to explain what we're looking for. I'll ask around the markets hereabouts. As for you, well, I've yet to venture beyond the food stalls, so practically anywhere else but here. If you learn any useful information, come and find me around this spot. I'll be stuffing my ears with delicious intelligence. It is the Lance Guard's duty to remain vigilant for threats and unusual developments that may warrant their investigation. It may be prudent to visit the Bright Plume post and question the soldiers. I agree. Have you seen an identified flying gentleman? He could be undead as well, or an alien. A super Mandervillian. Super Mandervillian 3. I do wonder how long it'll take before this guy over here, the Lance Guard messenger around here, will once again have something for us in terms of the Allied raid. I really enjoyed the FF11 Alliance raid. I mean, plot-wise, it was whatever. At least for me, I didn't play for 11. I mostly just enjoyed the boss fights. I really enjoyed the boss fights. But plot-wise, I gotta say, of course, plot-wise, it's whatever, but it involves Jafarja. Or some people call him Jafar. Whatever your name is. The Vizier of Tural, the sycophant to Zoralja. That dude is amazing. That is the best character ever. I'm happy to see him back. But anyway, yeah, this is something I can help you with. Have you seen this? Actually, I have seen a vessel like that. It was some time before Soralja's flying ships appeared. I watched it limp northwards through the skies above Tuliyola, wobbling about like it might crash to the ground at any moment. Hey, people have seen it. I love the duel. The fact they animated like a full training, like sparring session between these guys. And it's really elaborate. Searching for a strange ship, you say? Yes, I saw a flying disc just like that during a patrol in Shaloni. It was slowly drifting towards the ground and seemed to come down somewhere in Yaslani. If you're determined to find it, then that's what you should try next. What were they calling the place that's covered by the dome now? Heritage Found? Time to speak with Nashu, who should be engorging herself on intel. Yes, that's what it is. Intel. I've been waiting for this questline so long. I'm very curious as to how the role quests will end in 716. 716. Yeah, 7.15, 716, 7.16. 716 is fine. It's good. I do hope I whatever, 7.1.5, not 716 or 15. Whatever, 7.16. I'm rambling. Yeah, I'm rambling. 7.1.6. I'm really curious because I want to see if my predictions will be correct, if the story will go in the direction I thought it would. And it's one of the first few times where if a story goes the way I think it will go, or where I hope it will go, that's a good thing. My forest into the stalls bore no fruit at all. No, non-starship shaped anyway. How was your harvest then? Solani and Shaloni wobble. It might crash. Those are some solid leads. Nice work, Idra. So by the sound of things, the ship was malfunctioning and eventually came down somewhere to the north of here. With any luck, this hostage found you mentioned will be the place we find the Inspector hostage found. I doubt it'll be so simple. I gotta go with this one. Yeah, it's the Inspector. It's never easy. She's adorable. Well, with you as my escort, I'm sure we'll arrive at the right spot eventually. And none the worse for wear. Shall we head off? Hey, it's Cheese Puff. The cheesy smelling stalker. The air is all crackly and sappy. This is where the starship supposedly came down, so let's start a search for the inspector. Standard investigative procedure dictates that we question the residents for possible gentleman sightings. Off we go! Imagine if we find Hildibrand, he's like 30 years older. And now Hildibrand looks like Godbrand. Father and son looking identical. This is a small settlement and all its inhabitants are known to me. If a man of such distinctive appearance and demeanor were among us, I'm sure I would have noticed. Perhaps he's wandering around somewhere in San Solution 9? They have so many people, so many more people, he could easily go unnoticed in the crowds. You were here as Queen Speen's guest, as I recall. If your companion wishes to enter the city as well, I suggest you make arrangements with the sentry at the tower entrance. That accent was all over the place. Ooh, Solution 9. That sounds promising. Thank you for the tip. Let's get Nashu into Solution 9. Well, she'll make a lot of wrong assumptions. But it'll be fun. Visitor detected. Verifying access rights. Unlimited. Ever keep access confirmed. Scanning unregistered visitor. Warning, warning, explosive device detected, entry denied. I'm not carrying explosives. This is medicine for treating Inspector Hildibrand's condition. Explosive medicinal compounds. Error does not compute. It's really quite simple. Inspector Hildibrand was sucked up by Mr. Boo Boo's malfunctioning starship, after which it proceeded to drag him 1,000 of moms away and deposit him here. Ergo, you need to let me pass so I can blow away his brain cobwebs. They're having a bad time. They're gonna shut off out of like a logic error. Yep. I knew it. I called it. Yep. You can't logic your way through Hildibrand and Nashu. It's impossible. No machine can handle it. I'm fairly certain, even the core systems of Everkeep could not be able to handle it. It's impossible. Error. Logic circuits overloading. Emergency shutdown initiated. It must be nap time. I guess we can just go in. Poor guards. Poor sentries. Please turn on right away again. Turn on again. Oh, it would have been so satisfying. Oh, that's a good sized city. Yeah, there's one sure way of locating an inspector in a place like this. If there's an ongoing case, then that's where he'll be. Let's set up the lively part of town and look into any nefarious incidents, shall we? Do you know which is the lively part? Yeah, I know. I know which one it is. The one with all the merchants and the players crafting stuff around them. True view. And that's in the eastern sector, you say. Right then, let's get to it. I mean, sure, this part, True View has the all the bars and everything, but the real action is over here with the shops and such. We all know it. There's no need to lie to us and claim that True View is somehow. It has the Arcadian, but it doesn't have the shops. Of course, the other place is the real art of Solution 9 and the most fun bit, the arcade. Few people to talk to. Forthright Hewn. What? Like a crime? Hmm. Now that you mention it, I did hear about a theft recently. Our city is peaceful by and large, but anywhere you have a lot of people, incidents like these are bound to occur. Well, there is a case. Hmm. Intriguing. A case, huh? I've heard talk about an odd, squealing creature of some sort, but I don't know if that's the kind you're looking for. Recent troubles? I saw a pair of soldiers mobilizing not moments earlier, responding to a disturbance, it seems. I don't think it was far from here, but I'm hazy on the details. How about Nashu? Help me find him. Oh, I have also heard about that theft. Something was stolen from a nearby tavern, apparently. I got directions to the scene of the crime, so let's head over together. Time to introduce Professor Hildibrand. The thief absconded with aged bottles of spirits, the most expensive one in my establishment, with an aged bottle. I demand you find this criminal at once. No need to get all hot and bothered. The culprit is right under your nose. Admit it, punk. You pinched the hooch. Me? But why would you think? With a supply of souls cut off, folks with a habit have turned to black market rackets. And luxury goods of dubious provenance is one way to paying the asking price. A top shelf bottle of juice would make for a fine trade, I'd say. By the by, you know there's a method for identifying contraband souls. Your regulator log would tell the tale. Don't want to let us check them? Be my guest. I took a gander at the cabinet where the bottle was stored, and the lock showed obvious signs of tampering. Electro-picking tools are awful hard to handle, aren't they? Most amateurs get cinched, but you've got scorch marks all over your mitts. Give it up, kid. We've got you dead to rights. After they suspended soul provisions, I couldn't stop worrying about the future. It was a moment of weakness. Save it for the authorities. Take him away, boys. That hurt my throat. That was Inspector Hildibrand, wasn't it? No, too competent. He didn't sound very gentlemanly. He must still be in shock after the starship crash landing. A healthy dose of Nashu's delights will put him to rights. Let's make absolutely sure it's him first, shall we? Hmm, I suppose that would be the responsible course of action. Come on, we should hurry along before we lose sight of this ungentlemanly Hildibrand. This is Hildi Sleuth. Not a private I, it's a private H for Hildibrand. You walked that away. Or it was more of a mosey? You're littering! You're littering! No! Oh, he has a pocket egg. Like pocket bacon. Hmm. He looks like the inspector, but he's a touch old and mopey. He's been trapping the dome for 30 years. 30 years passed inside the dome? And if Inspector Hildibrand was here when it happened, that would put him in his 50s. He must have been living here so long that he's forgotten everything about his previous life. Luckily, I have just the thing to jog his memory. Think I wouldn't notice such an obvious tale. I don't know what your game is, but bombs ain't toys. Best put them away before you hurt someone or yourself. Like me, I see neither of you are sporting regulators, so I suggest you be more careful with the only lives you've got. He's hard boiled. He doesn't need other souls or more time, more lives. He doesn't need them. He is that good. And he likes living on the edge. Sir, don't you remember us? You're Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, gentleman inspector extraordinaire. I've been called a lot of things, but nothing so insulting as a gentleman. I'm a weather old fool with too many debts and regrets. Detective Hardy boiled. Did he say hardy boiled? Ah, ah. Very impressive, but even with that name and those odd clothes, you might as well be the inspector's older, more wrinkled twin. Hardy boiled. I hate to break it to you, but you're barking up the wrong tree. What is she doing? Making a coffee? Making what? You seem awfully fond of those hard-boiled eggs. Here, this one's on me. Thanks, Dollface. You're a peach. Oh, it's gonna be explosive. I knew it's gonna be explosive. A disguised Nashu's delights. I'm impressed, Nashu. I'm impressed. He's doing the tough guy hardball detective slow mo walk. Yeah, that's hot. That's hot. That's one way to cure a hangover. You got me good. Hmm. Maybe we really do have the wrong person. That indestructibility is awfully Mantoville like, though. He might be the same person who shares the same. My son shares the same soul as Hildibrand. Yeah, it's gonna be his reflection. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I can see that you're not who I thought you were. And now we need to keep searching. Missing person, is it? If that's the rub, you can leave the sleuthing to me. Oh, we could really use your help. By the sounds of things, this fella looks a lot like me. I'll just say his name was Hildibrand. I'll find him, don't you worry. I can feel a hunch coming on already. Who knew that in another reflection, Hildibrand was competent? Are we sure that isn't the inspector? Who knows? I'd like to rush off and do some investigative work of my own, but this city still has my head spinning. I think I'll wait and see if this detective Hardy Boiled is as good as he seems. Meanwhile, you should check back to whatever it is that famous adventurers do when they're not embroiled in one of our fantastical cases. Meanwhile, the dame had me looking for a needle in a neon lit haystack, a city with an allergy to sleep. The twin of mine had well and truly lost himself. The trail was colder than the ice at the bottom of the glass, but I could smell it in the air. I like the cloying stench of cheap perfume, a conspiracy. Stay tuned for further episodes of Detective Hardy Boiled. I love that entire cast is just there with him. Mmm. Hildibrand. The inspector has finally set foot upon the dawn trail. Get ready for inconceivably further Hildibrand adventures. Who knows what this case will be this time? When it happens, whatever happens, you'll be there on the scene. Hey, Godbrand. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's the quest line so far. I love it so much. That's the nature of Hildibrand. The quest line just goes over a few patches, and this one promises just to be just as ridiculous. So far, I mean, if we count the zombies, we have Zombiebrand and his merry band of zombies, but that's still regular Hildibrand. We do have Brandy Hild, the polygonal Hildibrand, and now we have possibly his reflection, Detective Hardy Boiled, which I'm really excited that we're embracing the whole reflection thing with Hildibrand, if that is indeed the case, and this is not just a severe case of, mental cloudings, of confusion, or other things. My initial thoughts on what Hildibrand in Dawn Trail could be, I only had one wish on my bucket list, so to speak. Not really bucket list. I had one wish for this storyline, and it was the meeting of the minds, Hildibrand and Wukevu. Because I knew those two got together, it would be pure shenaniganery. And it would be delightful. But I'm happy with this. I'm happy with Hildibrand in the dome, with potentially the mystery of, was he trapped here for 30 years? Was he not? How long does a Mandravillian live? Huh? Will he, at his 50s, look the same as he did in his 20s? That's something worth knowing, because, we don't know how old a good old Godbird is. We don't know. He could be much older than we think. We don't know. I mean, we already know that the Mandravillian bloodline of the original alien Mandravillians is no longer a thing. They're just human, but let's face it, the Mandravilles have always been exceptional. And so I am curious to know if Hildibrand in his 50s, if he indeed aged inside the dome, is going to be actually older, or if he's just going to look like himself. That's something worth waiting for, I think. So I'm going to come back and do another one of these videos when the next leg of this adventure releases, hopefully in the next major content patch. And we'll see where these inconceivable adventures of Hildibrand will take us next. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.